What is up, everybody? Master Darkpoi Gaming. I am Darkpoi, and welcome to the channel. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and now let's get into the video. Welcome, everybody, to episode 1 of Darkpoi Plays Skate. This is going to be my section of the channel where I explore other video games outside of the disc golf world. If you enjoy these other alternative types of videos and you enjoy this type of content, please don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment down below. Now let's go ahead and review Skate Early Access. You guys, I'm an old school OG Skate fanatic. I absolutely love this game. I've been playing it since the first iteration. The Early Access is out. This is awesome. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map real quick. We got it's a decent sized map. We have 4 quadrants that are broken down with many missions spread across the 4 quadrants. I absolutely love it. First launching into the game, I had to go through character creation and blah blah blah. I took care of that and then decided let's go ahead and hit it out. There was a couple of tutorials that I had to go through before I decided, you know what, I need to record this, I need to get this out there. I absolutely love Skate, and I think that my community would dig it too. So, getting kicked off, I found myself a great spot, decided this is a great point to start recording, and then just kind of move on. Getting into one of my very first missions, I decided to get my bearings a little bit. One of the biggest differences between this one and the other skates of the past is like the visual and the speed in which the game is played. You're going to see in my video that there are some sections that are sped up a little bit to kind of help with the progression of the video, but there are sections in here that are just regular speed, so you'll see that the way the flow of the game works is slightly different than the way Skate has worked in the past. Not a bad thing. I absolutely dig it. Once I got used to the timing a little bit, it just took me a little bit to get my bearings and my timing, especially with my flip tricks and my ollies and whatnot. This is something that's different. These are now lines. The way that the game works with these lines progressions is that you have to hit the bearings on your way to committing to certain tricks that are in the sequence. You are not allowed to get off your board. Also a new feature that I absolutely love. I took probably 30 runs to get myself together to figure out what exactly I was supposed to do here, and right here was my first time getting actually over the wall. That's why I threw down with the flip. It's all good though, I had a couple bails. Then I found myself going, you know, I really want to make sure that I get this taken care of. Tired of wasting time on this mission, so I really kind of put my foot down and was like, let's just kind of clean it up. Don't get fancy with it, get the points we need, make sure that we're not clipping any curbs in any silly ways, and just getting the progression done. In the Skate video game series, there's a lot of different ways that you can get different trick progressions done. One of them is linking tricks with like a butt ton of manuals or reverts or things like that. It's a big trick. I love doing it, and you're going to see me do it in this video. I absolutely enjoy that trick, especially when it comes to getting too frustrated. If there's one thing that Skate can be good for, is frustrating yourself, you know? So, as I was skating around, I had a little bit of an ADD moment. I found this sick kidney bowl and was like, yes, I absolutely have to sesh it. So, after killing just a few minutes in here and really enjoying myself and enjoying what the game actually is, because I gotta say, I really love the way the graphics look. I love the way that the game works. They didn't change much in the way the actual tricks are executed, which I like. They give you more control over your board and your body, which I also very much like. If you're a Skate fan of past, you absolutely got to check out Skate Period. That's what this one is called, just Skate. I'm going to put a link down in the description box where you can get yourself early access to the game for free. That's right, they put this game out for free. It's an MMO now, so you get all the online multiplayer functions that you would get in any other multiplayer game. I absolutely dig the way that this is set up. It's a little bit glitchy and laggy, but that's not because like the game sucks. I think it's because like it's in early access. Right away, one of the things that I liked about one of the new additions to this game is the parkour aspect of the game. You can now hop off your board and you can climb buildings and different objects to get yourself up to these higher end buildings. You know, it's a Skate game, so you know there's going to be some form of the Hall of Meat. I was digging it, just kind of getting myself together on how it was supposed to work. I enjoyed learning the game. Again, I cannot reiterate this enough. It's very important that y'all understand that this is just Skate reimagined. It's the same kind of video game, as in the execution of the tricks are the same. But with the way the world interaction works, with the way that you can manipulate your body and the board, and the way the game flows, it's extremely different. I really think that everyone is going to be superbly pleased. If you played a Skate game in the past, I think you're going to really enjoy it, so make sure you go check it out. Moving on to my next location, just kind of getting myself together, getting through these intro missions. I found myself over here having to do the very first replay mission. I was really pumped to see Shingo reprise his role in the game. I think that's kind of cool that it's still Stan Van and that there are still the same characters that were in previous Skate games, NPCs that you get to work with. I think that's really cool because it kind of adds to the story progression for the OG Skate player. Once I got myself figured out with the replay and how I needed to kind of work with it, I'm still kind of familiarizing myself with it, which is why you saw so much back and forth. I think it's awesome. Having replays in the game has always been an essential part of Skate, and it's what allows us to really clip and make the tricks look really good, is your skate camera and angle. Right here is my first, one of my first missions that I had to link tricks. So one thing that I'm going to make it a pattern of in my videos is anytime I do a mission in a video, I'm going to always showcase the very first run of that video so you can see exactly what it was when I first ran at it. And then I'll either clip in different types of bails or different sequences that I landed or whatever. Moving on from the Shingo mission, I found these stairs, ran up, found this super gap, and this is why I love my gamer ADD brain. Finding this gap was super sweet. I just saw the stairs, thought, what's up there, and just had to move on, you know what I mean? Revisiting the kidney pool on my mission through the augmented reality, which is what they call the instructional tutorial person that's in the game, like the narrator that helps navigate you through the game. It's called V. I like that part of it. It allows you to have like kind of a directional access. It kind of gives you like an idea of where you need to go, and in some missions it leads you straight to where you need to be. I like that. It kind of takes away the whole I gotta search the map aspect of the game. But anyway, getting these missions done and just kind of getting with the flow and kind of familiarizing myself with the game more and more and more each time I play it. I gotta say, I love the system. I can't say enough about it. While I was playing, I stumbled across this cool little Halloween decoration setup. I wanted to put this in here because one of the new features to the game are these timed locations where they put in like an impromptu pop-up skate park area that is themed, and it's only available for a short period of time. In my opinion, this is going to be awesome because it's going to allow the game's map to not be so boring after so long. It's going to make things fresh and allow them to add new things to the game, which I really enjoy that part of. One of the problems I had with Skate in the past was that, you know, you could get DLCs, but it wasn't really like officially part of the map, and them having these pop-up little skate park areas that are themed that can be put up for holidays, I think is dope. I'm a big supporter of that. I love it. After messing around with the Halloween decorations for a little bit, throwing down some sweet little Rodney tricks, having some fun with it, I was moving on to the next mission marker. I got myself over there. This map, I gotta say, is pretty decent size. It looks small, okay? Like when you're first in there, you're like, oh, it looks big. Then you start to kind of skate around and you start to think to yourself, oh, it kind of feels a little small. Trust me when I tell you, there are 5 million skate locations in this map. And if you think this map isn't big enough, I urge you to really go back and re-look at it because I gotta say, with all the different places I've found so far, none have been repetitive. They've all kind of been really sick with their own unique little twist to them. They've compacted a lot of skate locations in a very tiny amount of space, in my opinion. Not saying the map is small, I'm saying there's a lot to skate in this map, and I think it's a great size for the style of game that it is. So that's definitely a big plus check mark. You guys have to understand, this is my first playthrough, okay? I went through here, did my character creation, started it fresh. The boys were like, we want to play. If you guys don't know, Konstantyne and Aleksander love the Skate series. We play it together all the time, so I was, of course, down to have them have their own little section. I think you guys are going to enjoy that when it comes up. After shredding this half pipe for a little bit, I was like, alright, I need to move on, because that's one of the things that makes Skate great, is you could be in the middle of a mission, like the story mode mission, doing your thing and stumble across a great location and then spend 30 to 45 minutes in that location just like hashing out a cool session. So you're gonna see I do that a lot. I get all distracted, I find cool spots, and I think I gotta skate this while I have it here and while I'm looking at it, because I may never find it again. During this mission specifically, all I had to do is like kind of run around the city, do different tricks along the way, get enough points to satiate the mission, and move on to the next location. It was a really easy mission to kind of get me familiarized with the map size, because like I said, it's a decent sized map. It's not like massive, And at first you're going to think it's huge, but it's not. It's the perfect size map, I believe. I'm going to stand by that statement. We'll see how I feel after a couple more months of playing the game and getting more familiarized with the new setup. One thing I'm not particularly fond of is the way that the game kind of gets glitchy when you put objects in the game. So in the Skate franchise, there's always been the ability to input like different barriers and obstacles for you to skate on, like minis and half pipes and different rails and kickers and all kinds of stuff. Well, because this is an MMO, because it's a mass multiplayer game, other players in the world can drop objects, and those objects you can directly interact with. So you could be working on something, someone could come along, throw down a ramp, you may not know they threw that ramp down, and then it could totally wreck you. The plus side is if that happens, you can go directly up to that object and you can disable its interaction with you. So it doesn't mess with the other skaters dropping the objects in the world, and you can skate freely through it and it doesn't mess you up, which I think is a fantastic addition. Moving on to the next missions, we come across our first real big Hall of Meat challenge. I really like these missions. It's a super unique way to take a secondary look at a game that's a skateboarding game. It may not seem like it's all that much fun, but trust me when I tell you, me and my boys spent 15, 30, 45 minutes at times just chucking ourselves off of buildings and flying around the map, trying to like land through different small areas and hit targets. It's so much fun, y'all. I can't stress it enough, and the skate team has always really nailed that aspect of the game. So, once I was able to get myself worked away and how I needed to handle this mission, I was able to slap it together. I did run out of time on the first run and had to do a second run, which is totally fine by me. I don't get like frustrated at these types of things. Once I was able to finish the mission, though, I had to get off the building, so I did a victory dive straight to my face because I thought it would be funny. I laughed. And then I just kept on moving on. I really absolutely love this game. I had so much fun playing it, doing the missions, following the storyline, as well as playing it with my boys. Once I moved along, you're going to see I'm a big fan of linking tricks with manuals, revert manuals, throwing down flip tricks in between. When I move on in between missions, one of the things that I like to do is really kind of just observe the map and see all the different things around me to see if there's like any good lines or any way to link it. It was at this point in time, though, that my boys were like, we want to play. And I was like, fine, let's go, let's get it. So, here we go. Aleksander, starting his run off, had what I would arguably call the longest, slowest grind of his life. But boy, he held it together. One of the cool things about this game is that when you're doing grinds, your body kind of shifts over the rail or the ledge that you're skating on. And I like that because it makes it more realistic and more applicable to how real-life skating works. Anybody who ever skates in real life will know that it's hard to hit a grind. It's hard to hit a board slide. You have to have a lot of patience and a lot of balance. You know, you have to be able to have a tight core and really be able to keep yourself together so that you don't slip off the rail or whatever. But as we were moving on, Sandy found this gigantic tower and said, I want to jump off that thing. So I said, let's go. He parkoured himself up to the top. Almost had himself a crazy jump off, which I thought was kind of cool. Got up here just so that he can go straight to eating face. Didn't stop us though, came straight back at it again. That's when he realized, yes, I need to crouch, I need to hold down. That way the front of my board doesn't clip the front of this ramp. Because you guys, that's how realistic this game is. You gotta watch yourself, you have to keep yourself crouched. You have to be able to compensate for the little lifts on the edges of the ramps because they can wreck your run. So it's definitely something that's fun. I dig the realistic aspect of it. Once Aleksander got his bearings and was able to get himself successfully down the ramp many times, he had a lot of great attempts at landing this gigantic flip. But you know what? It took him a while. He was able to get it. Wasn't able to land it like fully clean successfully as in like all the way through, but he was able to repeat it. So I was really pumped for him. He had a good time playing. He didn't want to leave, but his brother wanted to have a turn, so we had to move on. I was pretty pumped that he was able to end on a good note, though, because both of these big tricks he had been working on for quite some time, and the fact that he was able to actually land them and roll away was huge. Connie, when it was his turn, he was like, I'm not having any of that, and decided he was going to eat himself off the top of the tower so that he can go skate the city. Immediately crushing this sick grind sequence. I was pumped. We were like, yeah, let's get it, bro. Konstantyne loves skate. I would argue he loves it the most. It's probably his favorite game to play, you know, next to Pokemon. I would argue. He plays it all the time. He sits back with me. We jam to the music that's in the game, and now that I'm mentioning it, y'all, the music that's in this game is pretty cool. As you're skating around the city, the music will be popping off in cars or radios or different types of speakers that are on the sides of buildings. And when you walk up, you can capture the music. You can go up, click it, and it'll like play it on a playlist for you. And it'll and the way that it remembers how you capture the music, I still haven't messed with it all entirely, but so far with what I've seen, it's been pretty cool. Instead of just giving you like a huge playlist, it actually like makes you want to go search. If you hear a song like, oh, I really like that song, I can capture it and put it in my playlist. I think that's kind of cool. Again, I haven't explored all the options and gone through it all completely fully yet, but I really dig it, and I think it's going to be fun to really explore the city and see what kind of music is fully available, because skating and music have gone hand in hand since the beginning of time. You know, skate videos are almost music videos, if you know what I mean. As I was moving on, came up, hit this cool little wall sketch, and found this sick ledge. Immediately I knew I had to crush this ledge. This was the very first run at it. I really liked the way that I came through on it, saw this bridge, thought to myself, mani pad. Couldn't hit it. Wasn't able to get up high enough. That's okay. I'm not a quitter. I take a couple more cracks at it. I was able to get another successful run. Same exact problem. Was not able to get up and over the stairs because, like I said, the timing in this game is slightly different than skate games of the past. Also, and keep in mind, I don't know if I've said this, I played Skate of the past on hardcore mode, which significantly reduces your ollie height and your pop height and how you operate in the game. And I gotta say, just the normal mode of this game feels harder than hardcore mode of Skate 3 at least for me, because the momentum in this game really compensates for how you're able to pop, flip, and land your tricks. Same thing with the grinds. You're gonna find yourself hitting grinds, no problem. Sometimes your grind slides longer than you think it's gonna, no problem. But in this game, from what I've seen that's different than the other skate games, you really have to pay attention to your angle, your body angle, your board angle, and the way that you connect to the rail or the ledge that you're grinding on. Because it's not as easy as skate games of the past. That's definitely for sure. Skating around again, got distracted, decided I want to hit this big old fat handrail, but I didn't want to just do it all plain Jane. So, after hitting it with the board slide to see if it was even like a reasonable landing, and then bailing on the run out, I was like, let's smash this bad boy. Coming down with the huge salad. I love the way that my body was landing there on that trick. It really lined me up great for the momentum to come hit this fat ledge over here. I enjoyed it. Then I was like, alright, gotta get moving on to the missions. Tell me that wasn't a sick backside Smith. Again, guys, it's important for y'all to keep in mind that this is the very beginning of the game. Like I said, I skipped character creation and those things because I don't really care about that stuff. I want to know if a game is good, and I want to know if it's going to be able to, actually execute the way that I think it should. Not caring about the way my character looks per se. Eventually I will. Once I've become more familiarized, I'll definitely get into all the different looks and all the different accessories and the way to make your skater look more unique. And when I do that, I'll definitely showcase that side of the game a little bit more because there was quite a bit there for choices when it came to character creation. So I was pretty happy with that. I like the way that you can make your skater as fat or skinny as you want. That was pretty cool. They have good selections when it comes to height. That's also pretty cool. So overall, I gotta say the character creation is pretty sweet, but just not something that I care too much about. Moving into this line, so this was one of the first missions that I'd come across where I struggled a little bit in the beginning. I knew that I had to hit this police barricade sawhorse, and I knew that I had to transfer over to the stairs over here. Because of the way the timing works, it was really difficult to get myself up onto that sawhorse correctly, and that's why I bailed so many times. It was just non-stop running into the thing. But eventually I just got frustrated, decided I had enough, and finished the mission Skate 3 style by linking a bunch of tricks together and kind of working with the game mechanics. Yeah, it's not pure, I don't care, it got the job done so I can continue to move on. Next I was able to come across this mission here. I really enjoy the way this game is set up because a lot of the props that you skate you don't realize are part of other mission sequences. this spot was one of those spots. I've probably skated this spot now 5 or 6 times already in this run through alone, and then came to this mission, was like, oh, cool! So immediately had to go for the first run. I missed the 360 shove it, which is what they want you to do on the ledge here. That was fine. Struggled a bunch on trying to reset and get myself up onto this jersey barrier, but once I understood my timing a little bit better, had no problems with it. Again, moving along, you gotta catch all these bearings in the line sequence missions. If you miss one, you can go back, but you can't get off your board. I like to try to do these so that they look fluid and execute properly, and on this run specifically, I ended up missing a bearing. I didn't want to just skate back to go get it, so I ended up restarting again anyway. To me, that's part of what makes skate good. You could skate 3 it and chump it up and do all the links, and you can do all the manuals and reverts you want and try to Rodney your way through the game, and that's fine, right? No, I'm not talking any smack, I've done it a million times. But one thing that I like to do whenever I'm approaching these missions is to try to do them or execute them the way they were intended to be executed. Yeah, if I can't get it done the way that I think they intended it for it to be done, and I end up cheesing it out, I ain't mad. I don't care. I'm gonna cheese it out and move on. Because the way I see it, it's still just a video game, and I want to have fun. Finally, I was able to get a solid run though. Once I got through here and got everything, I knew that I just had to keep on pressing. Yeah, when I landed across that box, it was a little ugly with the way that I stopped, but I was fine with it. I was able to get the shove it in the link, didn't miss any bearings, and finally was able to get all the way around through, trick off of the ice cream truck, and not bail. However, what I didn't know was that there was more to this sequence after the ice cream truck. When I popped up over here, I was pleasantly surprised to realize that I still had some more to do. I came over here thinking I got this. I got the run out. I was super mad, but then the game gave it to me. So you know I took it. I wasn't about to argue with them on it. Like, hey, I got to shut it down. I'm going to take it. And if they're going to count the run out, so be it. Moving on to the next mission. I found myself skating around the city because I wanted to kind of get things going. At this point in time in the session, I was feeling a little sluggish. I kind of was like getting, tired of the game a little bit just because I had been playing for quite some time at this point. But I was adamant to tell myself, okay, finish this mission, then you can move on. Boy, do I wish I would have said that before I started this mission, because this mission right here was the mission that broke me in the game. It was so unbelievably difficult to get the full line locked down, to hit the grinds the way that they wanted me to get all the clearances I needed. I mean, right here alone, me hitting that planter box, I was like, yeah, I got this, and then I bailed here. That, led me to a barrage of bails that I can only describe as being the bane of my existence for this session. I kept getting so angry. I probably tried this mission 50 times. No joke, no exaggeration. It may have even been more than that. Eventually, I just had enough. I was like, alright, what's at the end of this mission? Because if there's one thing I do well is learn my lessons. And because of that last mission where I ended up not realizing there was extra stuff at the end of the mission, I was like, I'm gonna go see what is at the end of this mission. Once I got over here, and I got to this little ledge here, and I saw how much momentum I was losing, and how I had to clear this planter box, this is why you see me doing the little skateboard hop, because I didn't want to get off the board so that it reset me. I wanted to see what's at the end. When I got over here and I saw how big this ledge was right here, which, hey, it doesn't look very big, but for a regular street ollie, that ledge was huge. I was already committed at that point. I was like, I want to get this done. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'm going to take one more run. Immediately I bailed and said that was it. You guys, I want to say thank you so much for sticking through the entire video with me. This is episode 1 of Darkpoi Plays Skate. If you enjoyed the content, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and hopefully, I'll see you in the future.